Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the wild Scottish countryside. And today we've come through Braemar and we're kind of at the far side of like Glenshea and stuff like that, and there's a road which comes round here and it's like you can't go any further, and we've been right round to find any abandoned history. And what we have found is this ancient dam, which is so cool, and it looks like at one time the dam has been breached and the water has flown through the dam wall. So what we're away to explore is the old history of this dam and see what's left, and it's a massive ancient structure. Today we're joined by the channel DJ once again folks, and just check this thing out. The water's literally like flowing through the wall now. I'm guessing it must have been like for a mill or something back in the day. Crazy scenes folks. It is a bit windy today and I do apologise for that in the audio, but again we're bringing to you some unique history never seen before on the channel, and every year stuff like this deteriorates and falls down, so it's so cool to come and video it before it's gone forever. This is a crazy massive old structure here folks, built onto the land, and I can see there's two folk fencing up here on the side of their field. Shout out to them if you're watching this video. Check it out, there is water at this other side, and the old dam, there's actually sluice gates there, look, the old handles. I'm not really wanting to walk along the top of it because of the condition. Again, it's super fragile here and very like precarious. Again, it's literally on its last legs. You can see that here folks, you can, the light's coming right through it, and just think of the weight of water that's at the other side of this. Even underfoot here there's massive soaking parts where it's continuously being breached, but down here one day it must have just given way and it would have been a crazy scene. Probably a lot of water flowed out really quickly over a short period of time. But look here, the whole face of this dam is falling off and it's fractured, and you can hear, look, the water's trickling through it. Total beasties all over us. Look, they've put these in to reinforce it, but look, the water's trickling through. See, that's how I think it's unsafe. It's actually stepped out there half a foot from the water pressure. But there's actually interesting architectural details here with this which I want to look at, because the original overflow has actually been at this side, and where the water's coming over now is non-original. But I'm thinking there must have been a mill or something further down here which was using the water. They maybe had a sluice gate or something. But yeah, this is the original overflow here, and look, it's a strongly built construction from old times, maybe early 1800s and stuff. And you can see here they've built the stones in at the bottom, so when the water was coming hurtling over this overflow here, it never wore it out. And round here folks is where it had been breached, which is crazy to see. Yeah, see what I'm seeing here, look, there's a big pipe, and often what these pipes were powering was like turbines. Sometimes big houses and stuff were fed from pipes about this size, which ran along the land as far as like a little turbine shed, and then they often used to create electricity. A lot of places had waterways like this in Scotland, big houses and mansions. You can see how it's been breached there, that whole piece of wall has collapsed. But a crazy thing that I'm noticing, that whole bit has just been washed out below there. And it is crazy because one day it's going to wash away fully, and that'll be such a crazy scene folks. This whole wall is just going to give way. This is crazy though folks, this is the kind of history we love to explore. This week it's an ancient dam. It's crazy the variation of history that we end up exploring. And yeah, I'm wanting to have a proper look at this sluice mechanism up here. Look how absolutely narrow this bit of the wall is. Wow. Check this out folks. It's windy up here and I do apologise for that. But just think of the actual history here with these sluices. It says open shut on them. Crazy, and just think that's the original overflow, so the water must have gotten quite high. But then after the dam was breached, the water's just found its new height. Yeah, probably at one time they would have dug that out and like dredged it, whereas now it's just full of silt. And look, there's old brass bushes there. So that makes me think this construction was probably like 1900s. Crazy though, folks. Old dam. We've never seen before on the channel. It's cool. And what an adventure. You can clearly see if you hear how it's breached, but I'll take a couple of photos and then I'll get back to you. This is insane, folks. You can see how thick the wall had been originally and how thick it is now. Like literally this bit here is all washed out and washed away, and see underneath this bit here there's nothing. It's almost washed as far back as that'll just drop in. It's amazing how much less windy it is once you're down this side of the dam. And you can see it's got all these reinforcing like gussets or little internal walls. What a scene though, folks. It's truly epic.
When that does collapse, all that water's just...
Yeah, this whole thing's just going to go. And that's how it's dangerous being on here. But I think this dam is in its last years and it's just hidden here in this glen. So it's been so cool to come and document the history of a little bit of Scotland from a time gone by. You can see when they've built it, there's almost been like a wall built here down, and then they've built all this on as a separate layer. It is crazy though, folks. Crazy Scottish history. It will be windy for this little crossing here, but I'm going over this overflow. Look down there into the deep water, folks. This is where originally the water would have dropped down, and that's why it's been engineered like that, to have the proper kind of like they've got the proper stone built at the bottom. I'm just taking my time here, folks. Often I come up on an ancient wonder like this just to get a different perspective on the history. And yeah, it's had a cement render on it. You can tell how long it's been kind of abandoned. These trees and stuff's growing in it, and that's what pushes often the masonry apart. And with the force of the water behind this, it's scary. Because literally that wall's almost just like half as thick now as it originally was. Because it was probably a small dam of its era. But I think if it did burst and it breached, it would literally just flow down this glen here, and these houses and stuff would be alright most likely. But yeah, I'm literally up on the side of this thing, folks. It's crazy. It's like a 45-degree slope here I'm slipping down. But the adventure is real once again. If this is your dam, folks, and you see this video, we do come with the greatest respect. We're just documenting another cool bit of Scottish history here. It's hidden in a wee glen just past Braemar, near Glen Shee. And it is truly epic. I love the way the old stone construction is shaped. Kind of around areas like this where the water's been coming down. I think it's had cement over it, and it must have been so impressive when it was originally built. But even the stones behind the cement render, still impressive. I'm not sure if like a local mason or whoever would have made this or what, but yeah, I can't believe how eroded out it is at that side underneath. It must be the force of the water when it's spraying back, just over years and years. Look, I think the stones here have got a high like iron content, because there's actually rusty stones here, folks. Look at this, folks. You can get a true aspect of this. I'm just keeping the camera rolling on an adventure like this. The viewer is along on the adventure way. It's like there's little lambs and stuff just grazing up here. They're busy putting in a new fence along the top of there. Look at this though, this is one of the worst bits. The wall's just giving way, and if you were to walk along the top of that, it would just fall straight down. It is crazy, folks. It's crazy how stuff like this can be built into the land. As the years go on, it just falls down, and history will be forgotten with a thing like this. There'll be a pile of rubble. This could be one of the last chances just to see how it was. I think from those two pipes, they've probably been going down to turbines or generators. Because originally when I saw this dam, I was thinking it would have like a little lead, maybe going down to a water wheel. Whereas I think it's been maybe a later construction, going to like a turbine, creating electricity. Probably early 1900s, I'm guessing. But the construction of the dam wall there is like not as thick as some of the dam walls that I see when I'm exploring. But yeah, it looks like it is deep. Looks like it is pretty deep. Yeah, is that high quartz content in that stone? Yeah, wow. The river just gets pure dark and deep there for sure. Look at this, folks. We're right at the heart of this capsize, and look, the water at one point will just come out of there, because this must have been on top of the ground at one time, and it's all worn away. Luckily it's super dangerous even being underneath this dam wall, especially in the area where it's breached. Crazy scenes, folks. And look, you can just see how deep it is there from it getting eroded, but you can see it's like probably 2.5 to 3 metres worn in, and I would think it's just about at the stage it'll wash right out and this will fall down. But this could fall down anyway without that getting washed, because that structure's just hanging on by a thread, folks. That's why it's such an adventure to come to a place like this. It's almost dangerous, but it's on its last years of existence, and being able to video it like that, you can see how it was at one time hanging on to its own existence. So once again, folks, we're bringing you something unique here, something different. I love having a great variety of things, and within Scotland, again, there's so many cool old historical wonders like this. It's like a man-made structure that's so impressive. Even getting to see these little sheep up here grazing, what a cool scene, folks. The landscape up here is just magical. I'm pretty sure it's called Mar Lodge and stuff up here, isn't it? Mar Lodge, folks, that's the name of, like, I think it's at the opposite side of this glen. We're around nearer the Braemar side of this road. Yeah, and we just literally stumbled upon this dam, because that's what we do on this channel, folks. We're just exploring, and then we're exploring history once we find it. And this has been a magnificent structure. Somebody spent a fair bit of money back in the day on a thing like this. And it's cool that we get to explore it and see it in the state it's in now, before it's totally gone. Because it's cool to see those sluices, which must be connected to these pipes. And I'm thinking these pipes have obviously been washed out. Probably washed away in the burn. Potentially there's a ridge in the land there, and that could be where the pipes go. Here I can actually see the end of one of the pipes. Yeah, see on that bit of land there, there's actually one of the pipes which would have gone to there. So that shows that they were leading down there right enough. And that mark in the land was created at the same time as this dam. Because often they would run pipes like that for miles over the land before it went to the turbine shed, and that's how they got their power to spin the turbine up. The water will be dropping the whole way down there. And quite often what I've seen is just one pipe normally, so this could have been a dam kind of supplying a couple of different things, or doing a couple of jobs. And it's so cool with the noise of the waterfall there just in the background. Such a calm and quiet spot down here, folks. It's crazy. So all this water here at this little side stream, that must all be breaching the dam wall, because there's obviously no water coming over the original overflow anymore. Wow, this area here is just a pure bog. I can see the boy's got a new home at the top of the hill though, so shout out to him. Quality tractor. Crazy conditions too, folks. It's just like wild Scottish grassy bog here. So there you go, folks, you get a true aspect to the size of the dam. Now we've been down and had a proper close look, taking in the history. And to the landowner who appears to be at the other side of here, we come with the greatest respect. We're just exploring the history before it's gone forever and documenting it for the world to see. A little bit of Scottish history hidden in this magical hillside here. And some of the houses almost look like something you would see in Norway or something. So yeah, it's cool. It's almost a different world, folks. So this is the kind of peat bogs, folks, that we transverse to bring these adventures to you. It's like the craziest environment sometimes, because that just looks like a grassy hill there, but actually it's soaking. There could be deep watery holes in places like that. Yeah, there's so much slate there, folks. But also there's a cool, what must have been a little house at one time as well. Check this out, folks. It's a cool old, like, abandoned house. Must have been like a wee croft here, I think. It'll still be run by that, like, farmer that's over there. But it's been like a 2-bedroom little button bin, or maybe a farmer's shed. But yeah, it's super interesting to see, folks. A little bit of Scottish history just hidden in the hills. Oh, there's been like a little shed here, a little outside building. Wow. Yeah, or maybe they just kind of dug into the hill and then put a roof. Then they would have put like stones around it. But that might have even been warmer than the hill conditions here they were dealing with. Yeah, probably a bit of farm debris just. Oh aye. Maybe for, I don't think it would be for this house. Maybe it would be though. Crazy, folks. Real history once again. This is the sort of thing you often notice on the way to an adventure. You just think this is probably like 16 or 1700s that was built. Just think what the people were doing up in this glen back then. They probably still had sheep and stuff like that. Yeah, I do apologise for the wind in this episode, folks, because I feel it now blowing through. Yeah, that gives you an essence of the wild glen. That's what shapes the land here as well. The wild weather conditions that it's tend to put up with all year round. So there we go, folks. We're just about back at the car now. And this view here is just magical. You can't get better landscape for exploring here in like Scotland, with so much history just hidden in amongst it, from different times and different eras in history. It's all just mixed in, often just a few miles from each other. It's cool to document it and share it with the world. But anyway, I'm going to end this one here. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye for me, goodbye for the channel DJ, and we'll catch you very soon for the next adventure.